It's that time of year, y'all. Party time in the fitness world, honey. All right, we're about to get down and serious. We're about to get down and serious right now. Okay, serious. I know some of y'all are serious right now about them goals, right? Girls, y'all want to look good. You want to lose that weight. You know, you want to get them curves back. Maybe you want to look like what you looked like about 20 years ago, even though that's like completely crazy that you want that. But you know, listen, I'm not here to steal your joy or nothing. You know, I like to stay a little realistic and stuff. But you know, listen, you want to look good, girl. You want to be confident. You want to get this body right without having to go ahead and resort to getting the body done. Because you know, everybody's getting their body done nowadays. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, you know, people don't even need to work out no more. They just get the bodies done. Now they look deformed, a lot of them, because when you get your body done, like stuff just looks a little funky sometimes because the proportions be a little off. But you know, listen, that's neither here nor there because that is them and that is not you. What you are here for is you are here to get that body right, to get it together, to take your health seriously. And you are embarking on those New Year's goals, some New Year's goals. That's going to help you to be your best right now. That's what you're at right now, right? Listen, if I'm saying what I'm saying is speaking to you, honey, I want you to hold your hand up and say amen, amen, amen. And hit that like button and make sure you subscribe too and all that stuff. You know, listen. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Today, what I want to do is this, okay? I want to take it back a notch. I want to take it back a notch. I want to have a conversation with my ladies out there. Listen, we over 40, okay? We grown. We grown, honey. We got these grown hips and curves. Because let me tell you, the body I got now, I was not having that body at 20. Listen, I be looking at some of my old videos when I be doing stuff in the back end of my website and stuff, and I see my old videos, honey, I was skinny. Okay, I had not a curve. But now your girl's got some curves. Okay, she done filled out. She got that like mature body, you know, and sometimes we gotta work a little harder to make this more curvy, mature body still be right, high, and tight, you know? So I want to talk about today what y'all need to do to look good, okay? I don't care if you in your 40s, I don't care if you're in 50s, 60s, honey, listen, you could always look good, honey, okay? You may not look like you used to look when you're in your 20s, which is fine, but we want to embrace where we are right now in this aging process, in this maturity process, in this gift called life. Make sure that we're doing it with that. We are doing it swinging, baby. Okay, so today I want to talk about the things that you need to do first when it comes to your health, when it comes to your fitness and your goals and getting on the right foot in the new year. So let's go ahead and talk about tip number one, blood work. Okay, because this whole video is kind of going to be about the blood work thing. Because let's face it, when you're at this point in your life, just dieting and training alone just don't always work the way that it used to. You know what I'm saying? It's like you used to be able to go on a diet and your body respond like this. And you'd be like, oh, you know, that's good and all, you know, whatever. I gain a little weight. I'll just go ahead, stop eating, do a little exercise, and it's going to come off by tomorrow. But now sometimes it don't move. Sometimes it just sits on your hip and you just be like, yo, what's going on here, right? Ladies, look, I'm going to talk to you the way I need to talk to you. You got to get your hormones checked out, girl. You got to get them checked out, girl. Because I mean, for some of y'all, even in your 30s, you watching this. I see my demographics. Some of y'all in your 30s, you're watching this. And you need to get your hormones checked. Because when you have been dieting for a long while, especially you have a history of dieting, like you're one of those yo-yo dieters, maybe you lost a lot of weight and then, you know, gain a little bit of it back. Or maybe you just lost a lot of weight in general over your lifetime and you're able to maintain, but you can't get past this sticking point. Or maybe you're just someone who decided recently, you know, I got to get back into shape, so I'm going to start dieting and training, and nothing is happening. And that's normal, unfortunately, as we get older. That's one of the gifts that life gives us that we didn't ask for, okay? Hormones just not be responding to nothing. So you have to make sure that you're staying on top of what's going on with your body. And for those of us who have the gift of life in our 40s and over, trying to get that fitness together, here's what I want you to go ahead and test. Now, honey, the first thing you want to look at is that thyroid. And there are 4 things I want you to look at when it comes to your thyroid. The TSH, the free T3, free T4, and RT3. Looking at those 4 hormonal levels when it comes to your thyroid is going to tell you everything that you need to know about how your thyroid is functioning. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, your doctors ain't going to be too happy because they lazy and they don't want to do no testing. They act like you're asking them to draw their blood and send it to the lab to be tested, which they don't even do. All they got to do is order it and then read it off to you. But I digress. Okay, so you might have to fight for this. But knowing what your TSH is and the free T3, free T4, and RT3 is going to tell you exactly how your body is handling the thyroid hormone when it is encountered by the thyroid itself. Listen, if you're looking at just the TSH, the only thing that you're figuring out is that your pituitary gland is working functionally and normally. So yeah, the TSH is being released and it's stimulating the thyroid to release T4. But what's going on with that T4? Is it being converted to T3 properly? Is it being received properly by looking at the RT3 in the body? Those are the things you're not going to know. And if those numbers are off, honey, let me tell you something. Weight loss ain't going to happen. It's going to stall. You're going to plateau. You might even gain weight and be hypothyroid. And many of you are sitting on that borderline where your numbers are normal, but they're on the low end of normal. And you're wondering why you got all these symptoms. You don't feel well. Your body's not doing what it needs to do. And your doctor's looking at you straight in the face and telling you that you're okay. Honey, listen to your body. Ask for those tests. The next thing I want you to take a look at are your iron levels. A lot of ladies out there, you're tired, you're fatigued, and your iron levels are through the floor. You're anemic. Now listen. That was my life for a long time because I used to have severe fibroids. I had those fibroids removed and honey, my health has just been soaring ever since. I have not had a problem with my iron levels, but I know exactly what it is like to have iron levels through the floor, and it is debilitating. So if you're someone who's dealing with low iron, perhaps you do have fibroids that you're dealing with. You got to stay on top of that elemental iron. So ask for your iron levels, your ferritin, total iron, and all that stuff to see where these numbers are and whether or not you need to fix them. Now, the other thing that goes hand in hand with energy are two other vitamins that you need to check in your blood levels, and that is your vitamin B levels and your vitamin D3 levels. I cannot stress enough how I have seen so many clients suffering with low energy, inability to lose weight, can't really function, feeling brain fog and all that stuff, not because of the low iron, but because their D3 levels are low and their B12 levels are low. And these are two supplements that you can go ahead and take every single day in either supplemental form or food or both for many of you. That once you get that together, honey, you're going to be feeling great. You're going to be feeling excellent. Make sure you know where those numbers are and check those out. Now, these next two are so important that if you are high in one, and I know that you're already going to be definitely low in the other, but if you are high in one, honey, that belly fat, oh, it's going to keep piling on and looking a little crazy. You ain't going to be able to lose that at all. And that is your cortisol levels and your DHEA levels. Now, the best way to test this out is really a saliva test. Some doctors might do it, some may not. You can actually order them from an outside lab, and I'll go ahead and put that link for you to look into that. But if you test your levels throughout the day, you'll be able to get a full picture to see how your cortisol levels are rising and falling, and whether they're rising and falling the way that they need to for optimal function. Now, if you're someone who lives a high stress life, honey, I can already tell you right now, you ain't got to take a test. Your cortisol levels are through the roof, okay? And you need to go ahead and make sure that you fix that. And we'll be talking about in some future videos exactly how to go ahead and address high cortisol and my favorite supplements to get that under control. But the other hormone that works hand in hand with your cortisol is DHEA. Now, here's an interesting fact. DHEA is going to fall the older that you get. You get 25 years old and that number starts going down, okay? It's just like falling off a cliff. And that is really, really detrimental to the body. It ages us and all these things. And the great thing about DHEA is that you can actually take it over the counter. But honey, do not go off and start taking DHEA on your own without knowing whether or not your body needs it and how your hormonal levels are naturally. And the final thing you really got to check, all right, before you embark on any fitness journey, before you embark on any diet, any training, whatever, you got to know where your sex hormones are, ladies. Look, they didn't tell us about the menopause growing up, okay? They didn't tell us about the perimenopause. They didn't tell us about none of this pause and stuff, okay? We've always had our periods since the time we've been young. And, the menstrual cycle, we're used to that. We're used to our estrogen levels and all this stuff. But when that baby starts to diminish, honey, your body starts doing some wild and crazy thing. And it's always the lowered estrogen and the heightened testosterone levels, the progesterone levels being all over the place that wreak so much havoc on our bodies as females, especially as it's trying to adjust to this next phase of infertility that's just natural to all of us as we age. Now, you may have experienced it a lot earlier. Some women go through menopause or perimenopause in their 30s, while some women get it much later in life in their late 40s, early 50s, or beyond. So everybody's timeline is very different. And it really, interestingly enough, depends on when your mother may have started the process of menopause. Now, of course, there are other factors involved with that, but when you're in it, you know you're in it. And what I would say is to definitely make sure that you have your numbers checked. When you start getting those hot flashes, or your body is really having a hard time losing weight, energy and mood is all over the place, you're definitely going to want to start supplementing somewhere along the lines of specific hormones that your body might need in that time. And for a lot of women, that's progesterone creams or pellets. It could even be supplemental estrogen. So there are different remedies for different women depending on where you are, but it really will help you to know where your body's at in this process. You know, ladies, one thing I'll say about this time in our lives is that when you're in your 40s, even in your 50s or so, this is truly like that middle age, right? If the average female, the average woman, human female lives to about 85 years old or so, right now we are literally in the midst of it. It's like you're reaching that apex right here. They all say that the prime was in your 20s. Now listen, I am at the apex of my prime. I don't know about you, honey, okay? We ain't going downhill just yet. And just because we're aging, it doesn't mean that we have to go into this dark night and rage against the dying of the light kind of thing. You know, we can go ahead and make sure that we are as healthy as we can be, no matter our age. And yeah, the aging process, it's a part of the cycle of life. We're all heading towards that final destination, which is our last breath. But honey, we're going to be sliding into home plate like, you know, we're going to be going in there with our best health. And I want you to go ahead and make sure that you get these numbers all tested out. Do it every beginning of the year as just your annual physical type of things. You are on top of where your body is hormonally. So when you're getting into the gym, you're doing your diet, you're doing all this work, it all can come together because your hormones are intact. Now listen, we are all about keeping you inspired on your fitness journey as you get older and really feeling empowered in the maturing process. Something that we all go through. So I want you to go ahead and watch this next video right over here. So that way I can fire you up, get you motivated, and help you to say, look, honey, this is not the end of the road. We are just beginning. I will go ahead and see you over there.